It was exactly 2:47 a.m. when Ruth, a 71-year-old retired schoolteacher, suddenly collapsed on her bedroom floor. There were no chest pains, no visible warning signs, no cry for help, just an eerie silence, followed by the unmistakable thud of a body hitting the ground. That kind of silence, the kind that follows someone's fall in the middle of the night, doesn't just wake you up. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about aging and health. Ruth had always believed she was doing everything right. She took her medication on time. She walked every evening after dinner. She even did crossword puzzles to keep her brain young. But what she didn't know was that one tiny thing she'd been doing every single night for years was quietly increasing her risk of stroke. Without any symptoms, and without any warning. And the scary truth is, millions of older adults are unknowingly doing the exact same thing. You might be thinking, but I follow all my doctor's instructions. I take my medications. I try to stay active. And that's exactly why this message matters so much. Because sometimes, the danger isn't in what you're not doing. It's in what you are doing, but at the wrong time, in the wrong way. Especially when it comes to bedtime habits. In this video, we'll walk you step by step through what happened to Ruth, what her doctors found, and what you can do tonight to lower your stroke risk, sleep better, and give your brain the protection it desperately needs. We'll explore the bedtime habit that affects blood flow and oxygen to the brain, the silent damage it causes to aging vessels, and 3 life-changing adjustments that thousands of seniors are now using to avoid the same fate Ruth faced. But first, before we dive in, tell us, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or state in the comments below. It's always inspiring to see how far our senior health community stretches, from coast to coast and beyond. So let's start with the one thing most people never think about. What actually happens inside your body while you sleep? Sleep is supposed to be a time of rest, renewal, and repair. But after age 65, that peaceful state becomes more complicated. In fact, it can quietly turn into a period when your body is most vulnerable, especially your heart and brain. Here's why. When you lie down and fall asleep, your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure naturally drops, and your breathing becomes lighter. This is your body's way of conserving energy and promoting deep recovery. But in seniors, these changes can sometimes go too far. Instead of just calming down, your blood pressure might dip dangerously low. Your breathing may become too shallow, and if you snore or have undiagnosed sleep apnea, your oxygen levels can plummet without you even knowing it. Now imagine this happening night after night. And here's where it gets more dangerous. When you lie down completely flat, gravity stops helping your blood drain efficiently from your brain. For younger people with healthy vessels, that's not usually a problem. But for older adults, especially those with weakened veins, stiff arteries, or poor circulation, this position puts pressure on the brain and increases the chance of a vascular event like a stroke. And if your breathing is even slightly blocked, say from a congested nose, acid reflux, or snoring, it becomes a perfect storm. Did you know? According to the American Stroke Association, sleep apnea, a condition many older adults have without knowing, can raise your risk of stroke by up to 4 times. Why? Because sleep apnea causes repeated pauses in breathing that lower oxygen, raise blood pressure, and interrupt sleep, dozens or even hundreds of times per night. So instead of sleep being a healing experience, your brain goes through a roller coaster of oxygen dips, pressure spikes, and stress. And as we age, our bodies become less resilient in dealing with that kind of invisible nightly trauma. This is what happened to Ruth. Night after night, without knowing it, she was sleeping in a way that made her brain more vulnerable. Not because she was careless, but because nobody ever told her that these tiny habits could carry such big consequences. But the good news is, Knowledge is power, and you can make changes tonight, simple ones, that may protect your brain and help you sleep with confidence. Up next, we'll look at 3 hydration habits that many seniors are doing wrong, and how changing just the timing of your water intake could drastically improve your sleep, lower your blood pressure, and protect your brain. You've heard it 100 times. Drink more water, it's good for your health, and that's true. But when it comes to hydration, timing is everything. Because drinking too much, too late, can actually put extra pressure on your bladder, heart, and brain while you sleep. Especially for seniors, that midnight glass of water may be doing more harm than good. So what can you do? Let's break down 3 hydration rules that stroke recovery specialists now recommend to protect your brain, especially overnight. Rule number 1. Stop drinking water 90 minutes before bed. This is one of the simplest and most powerful habits you can start tonight. When you cut off fluid intake at least an hour and a half before lying down, you give your kidneys time to process existing fluids in your system. That means you're less likely to wake up for a bathroom trip. You reduce blood pressure drops from suddenly standing in the dark, and your sleep becomes more restorative. A 2014 study from the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that older adults who followed this rule had 47% fewer nighttime awakenings. That's huge, especially when you consider how much damage even one interrupted sleep cycle can do to your heart and brain. Rule number 2. Front-load your fluids in the daytime. Think of hydration like filling a gas tank. You want to fill up early, not when the engine's already cooling down. Your body absorbs fluids more efficiently during the day, especially when you're active. So drink the majority of your water in the morning and early afternoon. Here's the target. The Mayo Clinic recommends 7 to 9 cups of fluid daily for seniors. Try to get at least 70% of that before 6 p.m. Why? Because waiting until bedtime to catch up only floods your system at the wrong time, disrupting sleep, burdening your heart, and risking those late-night blood pressure shifts. Rule number 3. Choose smarter fluids at night. Let's say it's 9 p.m. and you're still a little thirsty. What should you drink? Here's what not to reach for. Sugary drinks, alcohol, or even caffeine in decaf teas. These either stimulate your nervous system or dehydrate you even more. Instead, try this gentle hydration remedy used in stroke recovery. Clinics. A small glass of filtered water with a pinch of pink Himalayan salt and a few drops of fresh lemon juice. This mix supports electrolyte balance, aids gentle hydration, and doesn't overwhelm your bladder. It's soothing, brain-friendly, and heart-protective. These 3 rules may sound simple, but they're backed by science, and they work. They're not just about reducing your bathroom trips. They're about reducing overnight blood pressure drops, improving oxygen levels, and letting your brain finally do what it's supposed to do at night. Rest, heal, repair. Now let's talk about something so basic. You probably never question it. The way you lie down in bed. Most people, especially older adults, assume that sleeping flat on your back is the most restful, natural position. It feels comfortable. It seems neutral. But for aging bodies, and especially aging blood vessels, it can actually be dangerous. Here's why. When you lie completely flat, gravity is no longer helping your blood flow down from your brain to your heart. In a healthy young person, this doesn't cause much trouble. Their blood vessels are flexible, their circulation is strong, and their breathing is deep and stable. But for seniors, things change. If your veins have weakened over time, if your arteries have stiffened, or if your circulation is already compromised, then lying flat quietly increases pressure inside the skull. That means your brain is under more strain, and your risk of stroke can rise, without you even feeling it. A study published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that sleeping in a flat position increased the risk of nighttime stroke by 23% in older adults, especially those with high blood pressure or circulation issues. Why? Because this position worsens sleep apnea, oxygen deprivation, and blood pressure fluctuations during deep sleep. It also reduces your body's ability to clear out brain waste, a function we'll talk more about later in the video. So what's the safer option? Make one small change. Slightly elevate your head and upper torso by about 10 to 30 degrees. You can do this by using a wedge pillow, an adjustable bed, or even stacking 2 firm pillows under your back and shoulders. This minor incline helps your blood drain more effectively from the brain, keeps your airway more open, especially if you snore, and reduces the pressure on your heart and blood vessels. And here's something even more interesting. A 2015 Journal of Neuroscience study showed that sleeping on your left side can actually help your brain perform its nightly detox process more effectively. That's because the lymphatic system, which clears out cellular waste from the brain, works better in that position. And when the brain clears out toxins more efficiently, it reduces the risk of stroke, dementia, and cognitive decline. So if you want to sleep smarter tonight, slightly elevate your upper body. Sleep on your left side if possible, and make sure your pillow isn't pushing your neck into an unnatural angle. This simple, almost effortless adjustment could be one of the most protective things you do for your brain. Starting tonight. Coming up next, we'll explore something just as surprising: how your bedroom itself, the lighting, temperature, and electronics may be putting you at risk without you even knowing it. You might be doing everything right during the day. You take your medications, you eat fairly well, you try to stay active. But what if the very room you sleep in, the space meant to heal and recharge your body, is actually working against you? Most people never think about this. But your bedroom environment plays a powerful role in your brain's health and your risk of stroke, especially after age 65. Let's break it down into 3 overlooked dangers. Temperature light. Electronics 1. Temperature. When cozy gets risky. Let's face it, most seniors prefer a warm room. Nobody likes cold feet or stiff joints, right? But here's what research has revealed. A warm bedroom may feel cozy, but it actually makes your body work harder. When the temperature is too high, your heart rate can increase, your blood pressure can spike, and your sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. This is exactly what you don't want at night, especially if you're managing blood pressure or vascular health. A study in The Lancet found that stroke risk increased significantly during temperature swings, especially when the body struggled to adjust between day and night. So what's the sweet spot? Experts recommend a sleep temperature between 60 and 67 degrees Celsius, about 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. It may feel cool at first, but it helps you sleep deeper, regulate blood pressure, and reduce inflammation markers tied to heart and brain disease. Try this. Use warm socks or a heated blanket for your feet if needed, but keep the room itself cool. Your heart and brain will thank you. 2. Light. The silent sleep disruptor. If you're watching TV in bed, scrolling on your phone, or even using bright overhead lights, you're likely flooding your brain with blue light. And blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime. That means your body stops producing melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. But melatonin isn't just for sleep. According to oxidative medicine and cellular longevity, lower melatonin levels are associated with poorer brain repair at night, higher stroke severity, and even increased cognitive decline in older adults. What should you do? Use amber-colored lamps or warm-toned bulbs in the evening. Turn off TVs and tablets at least 1 hour before bed. And if you must use your phone, turn on night mode or use a blue light filter app. 3. Electronics. An invisible interference. We live in a connected world. Phones on the nightstand, chargers next to the pillow, Wi-Fi routers buzzing through the walls. But all these devices emit electromagnetic signals that may interfere with your sleep patterns, especially in older adults who are more sensitive. While more research is still being done, stroke prevention clinics often recommend playing it safe. Here's how. Put your phone in airplane mode before sleep. Move charging cords and devices away from your head. Turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi devices that aren't needed overnight. These small steps help reduce stimulation and create a calmer, cleaner sleep environment. So remember, it's not just about what time you go to bed. It's about whether your room is helping or hurting the very healing you count on each night. In the next section, we'll go deeper into the bedtime rituals that stroke recovery clinics in the US, Germany, and Japan are now recommending for older adults. They're simple, they're science-backed, and they're surprisingly effective. Now that we've covered what not to do at night, let's talk about what you can do. Rituals that are calming, brain protective, and based on the latest neurological research. These aren't gimmicks, they're real techniques used in stroke recovery clinics across the US, Germany, and Japan, proven to support the nervous system, improve blood flow, and prepare the brain for true healing sleep. And the best part? They're simple, soothing, and take less than 15 minutes total. Let's walk through them one by one. Ritual number 1. The neurological wind down. Before you even crawl under the covers, give your nervous system a signal. It's time to relax. Spend just 5 minutes doing gentle shoulder and neck movements. Here's how. Roll your shoulders in slow, wide circles. 10 times forward, 10 times back. Tilt your head side to side, holding for a few seconds each way. Drop your chin to your chest. Breathe in, then slowly raise your head again. These movements stimulate the vagus nerve, a powerful nerve that connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. When you activate it, you trigger your body's rest and restore mode. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Neurology found that older adults who practiced this light movement before bed had lower nighttime blood pressure spikes improved, heart rate variability, and fell asleep faster, with fewer interruptions. Make it even more powerful. Add deep breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. This simple combo slows your heartbeat and calms your blood vessels. Ritual number 2. Elevate your legs for circulation. After a full day of standing, walking, or even sitting, your legs naturally collect fluid and pressure. If that fluid isn't cleared before sleep, it puts extra work on your heart, and that affects brain circulation too. Here's a gentle solution used in stroke rehab centers. Lie down on your bed or a mat, then place your legs on a few firm pillows, or rest them up against the wall for 5 to 10 minutes. The goal? Raise your feet slightly above heart level. This helps to reduce fluid buildup, support lymph drainage, and ease the heart's workload before sleep. A small clinical study in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that seniors who practiced this nightly had fewer leg cramps, better morning blood pressure readings, and improved sleep quality within just 2 weeks.